What did your sibling do to your parents that makes your blood boil? My sister required our parents to narrate every single thought and action when they were near her because she said silence meant they were thinking about someone else, and that meant they didn't love her. Caitlin had always been desperate for attention. As kids, she'd fake injuries when anyone else got hurt. She'd interrupt every conversation to make it about herself and throw tantrums if mom looked at her phone during Caitlin's stories. Our parents gave in constantly because they felt guilty about working long hours. They'd drop everything when Caitlin demanded their focus. By the time she was 16, she trained them to give her undivided attention whenever she wanted it. They barely paid any attention to me, but I could hardly blame them because Caitlin was so relentless. But that wasn't enough for her. She needed to own every single thought in their heads, and she was going to make sure she got it. One night at dinner, she announced her new rule. Anytime our parents were in the same room as her, they had to narrate everything they were doing and thinking. Complete stream of consciousness. She said silence was violence and meant they were giving their mental energy to someone else. If they paused for even 2 seconds, she'd scream, "Who are you thinking about?" until they started talking again. Our parents agreed because they couldn't handle her meltdowns. And I guess because in theory, narrating their lives didn't sound so bad, but they were so wrong. Our house became a deranged theater performance. Mom would walk into the kitchen saying, "I'm entering the kitchen thinking about how I need to make dinner, and I see Caitlin sitting there and she looks pretty today, and now I'm opening the fridge thinking about what to cook, and I love my daughter, and I'm looking at the chicken." Dad would narrate his newspaper reading. "I'm reading about the economy and thinking Caitlin might want to hear about this, and the stock market is down, and I'm worried about retirement but not as worried as I am about Caitlin's happiness." They couldn't even watch TV without commentary. They describe every plot point and their reactions while Caitlin sat between them, making sure their attention never wavered. If mom's narration slowed, Caitlin would snap her fingers in her face. If dad went quiet for 3 seconds, she'd throw the remote at him. Caitlin kept a journal documenting every laugh. She'd read it aloud at dinner. Tuesday, 4:45 p.m., mom was silent for 8 seconds. Wednesday, 9:23 a.m., dad's narration became monotone, suggesting his mind was elsewhere. She'd calculate what percentage of their thoughts belonged to her and rage if it dropped below 90%. She generously allowed 15% for me the weekend my appendix burst. Even when they were in the bathroom, Caitlin would stand outside the door demanding they narrate their bowel movements because silence meant they were scrolling their phones thinking about other people. Mom would have to announce each bodily function while Caitlin timed the gaps between words. It was infuriating watching her torture our parents who were just trying to pacify her. One day dad collapsed from exhaustion. He'd been narrating for 6 straight hours during Caitlin's homework time and just passed out mid-sentence. When the paramedics arrived, Caitlin screamed at him to narrate his heart palpitations. That's when I finally snapped and told Caitlin to shut up for once in her life. To my total shock, mom backed me up, and for the next week, mom went completely silent around Caitlin. No narration, no words, nothing. She'd cook dinner in total silence while Caitlin shrieked and sobbed. Dad was still in the hospital, so he couldn't narrate either. I watched Caitlin lose her mind without her constant stream of forced attention. She tried everything to break mom's silence. She faked choking, pretended to cut herself, even called 911 claiming mom was abusing her through neglect, but mom just stared straight ahead, finally free from performing her every thought. It was beautiful to watch Caitlin realize she'd lost her power. But when the silence continued, Caitlin went nuclear. She started following mom everywhere with a megaphone, narrating for her. "Mom is thinking about what a terrible daughter I am. Mom wishes I was never born. Mom is planning to abandon me." She'd scream these fake thoughts at maximum volume, trying to force mom to correct her. When that didn't work, she started destroying things. She'd smash plates while shrieking, "This is what your silence does to me." She cut up mom's work clothes because you don't deserve nice things if you won't talk.